Diary, the sociopathic mother-in-law next door. Entry. Today's date is Friday, the 31st of October 2025. Ooh, it's Halloween. The evil spirit has eventually left the building. The husk has now left the building. So where were we? She had 2 weeks to get her personal belongings, and then she had an extra month to arrange a removal van for the furniture, which there's not an awful lot of. Anyway, 2 weeks to get her personal belongings and hand the keys in. And she said to the husk, she said to the beacon, okay, longer than that. It's organised, people coming and going, and that includes me ATM. No, you've got 6 weeks to get your furniture out, husk. 2 weeks is just your personal belongings and hand the keys in. She doesn't read the text properly, she's in ego mode. Hubris. Pride comes before the fall. That's how she goes about everything. That's why she's in the situation she is. She ran away from home just to play the silent treatment, try and get Rebecca to come back. Guilt trip. Didn't work. Then in the flying monkey. Didn't work. Come back, antagonise us. Eventually see the beacon and try to give her a hug and manipulate her. And then tell her that she should apologise before you die. That's who you are, husk. That's it. End of podcast. End of diaries. So anyway, I think it was Thursday when she sent the text to the beacon saying, can I get everything organised then? It's things to organise and vans and people and ATMs coming. That was the Thursday evening, about 7 o'clock, but the beacon was out on a night out and she was staying out overnight at a hotel with her friends. So she's obviously not going to respond to that, and she doesn't respond to her texts straight away. She purposely leaves them at least 24 hours. Plus there was no rush. It wasn't she never asked anything, she just made a statement. So anyway, and she never responds without talking to me, so we can both come to an agreement of what should be said. So you have to play it with these types of characters, otherwise they'll divide you. So anyway, next day, Friday, the beacon is going straight from the hotel to work, and I actually think she might have been, I think she was actually away with work. Yeah, that's right, that's why she was in a hotel, obviously. So Friday, beacon's at work, she'll not be getting home till about 6 o'clock by train, and it's about lunchtime. I'm sitting in my little office room at home, working from home, and the ATM's car pulls up outside the house. What the hell's his car doing here? He should just come to collect a post. She's got a little post box at the front of the driveway. And I'm looking out the window, the little office is on the ground floor. I see that little prick opens his door. And right, where is he going? Sure enough, the pair of them just trot up the drive as if they own the place. What is he doing? He knows that he is not welcome here. Is he stupid? So I'm in my dressing gown. I'm working from home. I'm just in the privacy of my own home, in my dressing gown and pyjamas. Haven't getting dressed yet, so what? So I goes out there. He stood in the little garden section of the lair, and I go up to him. I go up to the fence, and I just shout over. It says, right? I'm going to ask you politely once to leave my property. And that's exactly what I said. And he got it. Guessed it. Oh, right. And he went, Husk, can I just tell the Husk? No. What do you need to tell the Husk? Get off the property. But no, you can't. Cheers. Right. Thank you. No, you can't. And then the Husk comes out. He says I've got to go. And I have to say, and he stood there. The Husk comes out, whinging, whatever. I said, I'm going to ask you politely once, get off my property. So I walk round to the entrance to where the little gate is, to the left, waiting for them to come out. And he thinks he's 74-year-old. He thinks he's a bit of a boy, you see. What is going through his head, I do not know. So I'm walking back down the driveway now, and I said to the Husk, what have you brought him back here? Who gave you permission to bring him? I text the vegan. Yeah, but she hasn't responded, has she? So who gave you permission? Well, I just presumed. What do you mean you presumed? Well, under the circumstances, no. Husk, there are no circumstances where he is coming on this property. Anyway, what have you come for? And I'll give you a hand. Like, she couldn't tell us what she had come for. She was just, keep changing the story. Well, I've come to tidy up the garden. Michael's ATM's helping us with tidy up the garden. Well, I've come to get some stuff. He's helping us. Well, what have you come for? And I'll help. No, she just wanted to leave. As soon as I told him to get off the property, she just wanted to leave. Well, so what does she come for then? I said, if you need a physical hand, you know, unfortunately for you, I'm the person that you're going to have to ask. Because nobody else is allowed on this property. I'm not allowing anybody on this property apart from a complete stranger who you're paying to pick up the furniture. That's it. No family members, no ATM. Nobody's coming on this property. No other family members coming to do your dirty work for you. So she wouldn't talk to us, and then the ATM, to his credit, he did actually say, look, Husk, just talk to him, man, just go and talk to him. Because he knows that it's not going to get done unless she complies with me and the beacon. She has to comply. It's as simple as that. It's our property. She has to play by our rules, unfortunately. And the ATM knows that. And he wants her out, because he wants her. It's his grand plan right from the start. So anyway, it didn't go well. Because she just wants an argument. That's what she came for. She came for an argument. And she wasn't playing ball. And in the end I was, right, just give us the keys. Just give us the keys now. You're not going to play ball. No. Yes. No. Give us the keys. No. Give us the keys. No. Give us the keys. No. It was just childish, totally childish. That's what she does. She drags you down to her childish level of consciousness and ego, where it just becomes a stupid battle. So trying to think. Oh, so she left in a huff. I was getting nowhere. I was foaming. I was like, she hasn't come for any reason. She didn't come to get anything. She came to antagonise me. She knew the Beacon would be at work lunchtime on a Friday. She knows her working habits. She knew that I'd be working from home. She knows my working habits. And she knew they turned up, they didn't have anything, they didn't have any practical means of carrying stuff. They had no bags, no boxes. She lured him in just to antagonise. Because she doesn't like being or perceiving. She doesn't like the perception that she's getting beat. She thinks everything's a battle. So she brought him to antagonise us, and she got the reaction she wanted. She didn't take any belongings. I had no means of carrying any belongings. So I have to believe that the effects of them coming, i.e. leaving with no possessions but antagonising me, was the intention. The effects are the intention. So anyway, calm myself down. I'm now on a work call to my boss, and this stupid bitch comes back. Sorry for the language, but it's like half an hour, 45 minutes later, she's back by herself this time. And again, she just struts up the drive like she owns the place. And I think, right. So I'm getting dressed at this point. So I strut over there. I go in there. What are you doing? Why are you back? And she had black bags this time. And what she was doing was, she was literally just emptying cupboards and creating a mess. And chucking some stuff in the black bags and other stuff just leaving on the benches. But she was doing like a child in a strop. Tidy a room. And then it just make more of a mess. And that's what she was doing. Like a child in a strop, just making a total mess. Again, she had no. Come and collect your belongings. What that means is, take what you want, leave the rest. Tidying up. Look, I could easy. So this is what I said to her. So I confronted her on it. Why did you bring him back? You knew it would spark. You know he's not allowed. Why did you do it? I just presumed in the circumstances, as if like that she needs help. I'm going to let him come back. You know, if you need help, you have to swallow your pride and ask me. I'll help you. You just need to ask us. And I said to her, what do you think the Beacon's going to say when she comes home from work today? Because she was out last night. She's got better things to do than reply. And he never said he was coming tomorrow, i.e. today. He just said at the ATM will be coming. If you had said he's coming tomorrow, the Beacon would have seen that and said, no, he's not. But you had to get it in there, didn't you? You had to get the visit in before we had a chance to respond. Because you knew we were going to say no. You sent the text, and then you're there by lunchtime the next day. I can see through you, man, Husk. You're so easy to work out. So anyway, I said to her, I thought I'd bring up a couple of other things. Went backwards and forwards again about stepdad. You just say horrible things, and did he want to live here? Because you've told the Beacon different things to what you've told me. Do you want to live here or not? Yes. And then, right, okay then, so why did you say you didn't? And then she'd give all these different twisty, manipulative little stories about you didn't want to move. And I said, right, so if he didn't want to move, so that must mean that you forced him here. And then she's obviously realised that it's not going to look good if she admits that she forced him here. So again, this is a conversation we're having at this particular confrontation. She realised it's not going to look good if she admits that she forced him here. So I said, so he didn't want to move here? No. But you've just said he did, like 10 minutes ago. In the end, he did. What do you mean in the end? Like when you forced him? He had no choice. No, I didn't force him. When he thought about it and we couldn't afford to live anymore. Couldn't afford you couldn't afford the bills. You couldn't afford to live anymore. You never said this to us at the time. You said you were worried about things needing to be replaced, like boilers and windows, but you could afford to pay the bills. We couldn't. You liar. You never told us that at the time. So she's lying. They could afford to. I knew her finances inside out because I said to her at the time, we'll have to be transparent. We're taking on the burden of housing you. Have to be transparent about what you can afford, what you can't afford, and have you got any debt? And because if there's debts that we don't know about, it needs paying off, and that shrinks the budget. And then if there is debt that we don't know about, we're going to inherit it. Because, you've got no house to sell now once you've done this. So I knew her finances inside out, just lying. I said to her, you couldn't have a very luxurious lifestyle, but you could afford to live. Honestly, she's totally lying. And she's trying to make it, the reason she's lying is she's trying to make it sound like stepdad come round to the idea of moving up here because he obviously came to his senses because of the financial predicament. That's what she's trying to say, and it's a lie. Because she realises that she can't make it sound like she forced him, because that wouldn't go well. So she's made up the story that while he thought about it, he said, yes, Husk, I would like to move up there. I don't believe that at all. But anyway, so she's told us, yes, he wanted to move, no, he wanted to move, no, he wanted to move, yeah, but yes, he did in the end. It's that you never get the truth. Me and the Beacon have come to the conclusion that the stuff that she says when she's nasty is the truth. Because, she'll tell you a million different versions of any lie. The truth comes out when she's being nasty, when she's being her true self. She's not hiding herself. So anyway, I said to her, another thing, why did you say to the Beacon that I had said to you that in 33 years I've never enjoyed your company? And then I was basically being dragged to any occasion when I was in your company. I was being dragged there by the Beacon. Why did he say that? And then I give her loads of examples of how that's not true. Examples from the past of me and her getting on perfectly fine. And, went through a period of Why the hell do you think I moved you up here, Husk? Because I liked you? Honestly, it's just completely delusional. I said, why did you lie to the Beacon? You said in 33 years I've always been like this, and people know when I'm go quiet and stuff. I said, yeah. That doesn't back up the lie that you just told. That's what you should have told the Beacon that I said. What you've just said to me. So, but just admitting that she consciously changes. No, I meant this. She constantly changes. What you say to her when she's telling somebody else the tale. And she'll do that to me and the Beacon, who are 33 years down the road, absolute truth tellers, and have each other's back, know how to communicate. We are totally tuned in to one another. And if she's going to do that to us, lie to each other, each one of us, about the other behind their backs, she's going to do that. What the hell else is she doing to other people? People that aren't her own son-in-law and daughter? People that aren't as solid as us? What the hell is she doing to them? And what is she prepared to say to those people? I can't really get it. You never get a straight answer out of her. She just tries to twist or deflect from your question. And then I brought up the whole thing about saying to the Beacon that she should apologise before she dies. No, that's not what I meant, but that's what you said. And I said to her, you're meant to be a mature woman. And she doesn't really say anything to that. She's just listening. What's coming next? Where's he going with this? Do you not agree with us so far then? You're meant to be a mature woman. And second, you're meant to be a mother. I am. Oh, that's our defence mechanism triggered right there. You question her motherhood, and that's where the defence is. She's convinced that she's a good mother. So I said to her, you're meant to be a mother. I am. I said, right, if somebody is those two things, they would never, ever say that to their daughter when they've done nothing wrong. And they would never, no, I chose the wrong words. And they would never choose the wrong words in such a calamitous way. A proper mother and a proper mature person would not make that mistake by choosing their words so unwisely that that's what comes out of their mouth to their own daughter, who's done absolutely nothing wrong. Anyway, I said to her, it's gone off my mind. I said to her, oh, there's some cows ahead, and farmers are doing something with them, so I'm just going to slow down and see what they're doing. Just trying to move them somewhere. Looks like they're getting out of the field somehow. So I said to her, why do you keep lying to her both, and she said, and I said, because we tell the truth. We tell the truth, and I'm going to have to pause this. So I said to her, why did you lie about us two when the other one's not there? We tell each other the truth. I know you do. What, so you're admitting that when I've told you that what I've said to her, you're admitting that I tell her the truth and that you tell her lies. You're admitting that. She went, no. And this is what she said, and it really it really makes sense now what's going on inside a pea brain. She said, I'm obviously going to paraphrase here so it makes sense, because it took us a while to work out what she meant. So paraphrasing, she said to me, you tell the beacon the truth when I'm not there, so I don't get an opportunity to tell her what I really meant. Wow. All of a sudden it all made sense. So she says things, and then, so if like she said to the beacon, you should apologise to us before I die, she realised straight away she had made a mistake. She hasn't, not mistake as in chose the wrong words, but it was a mistake to say that. The beacon went off it. So she tried to change the words. No, that's not what I meant. So what she's saying is, when I go back and tell the beacon, you want to hear what your mother said? This is what she said about stepdad. This is what she said about me. This is what she said about you. And I go back and I tell her the truth, word for word. The husk agrees that I'm telling her the truth, and that she did say that. But what she's saying is, because I tell the beacon when the husk isn't there, she doesn't get an opportunity to say what she really meant. Or in other words, she doesn't get the opportunity to lie and manipulate and worm her way out of it. And that's what she meant when previously she said, the beacon's just listening to you. She's just listening to what you're telling her, and that's turning her against us. Now I understand what she meant when she said that. Because she's not a very good communicator, is she? What she meant was, I thought she meant that I'm going to the beacon, telling her lies, and the beacon's gullible and believes those lies, and then I'm manipulating her to turn her against her own mother. That's what I thought she meant when she said that. She's just listening to you, and it's turning her against us. That's what I thought she meant, but she doesn't. She doesn't mean that. She means she does say horrible things, but unfortunately, when I report them back to the beacon, she's not there to lie and manipulate her way out of it. Now it makes sense what she said right from the beginning. It doesn't change anything. I can't remember what I said, but that's it. She can't handle the consequences of our words, and if she's not there, if you don't defend yourself in the moment, she never has to retract those words. So how many nasty things has she said to people? People haven't got the bottle to challenge her on it, and then they're just left. Those words are left. That's what she said, and that's what she meant. And you cannot tell me that she doesn't mean them. You tell me she's gone through her life, through her adult life, saying things, constantly saying choosing the wrong words, or the wrong words come out of her mouth. No. This is the truth. And when the truth has consequences for her, she doesn't like to face them. And that's what's happening now. She's facing the consequences of all the hurtful things she said. Anyway, I'm rambling. So, I thought, got past the kind of digging up the past. And I said to her, right, what's your plan for getting out of here? You've made your decision. And you've got till the 26th to get your personal belongings. And then you've got till the 30th of November to get a removal van to get the rest of your furniture, bulky furniture. And I'm going to put it in the garage, store it in there till that time. So all your removal van has to do is turn up and collect all the stuff from the garage. And anything you don't want to take, just leave it. And I'll take it with a tip. I made this clear. Out by the 26th. Removal van by the 30th of November. And I said to her, right, you're clearly going to need some help then, aren't you? Because you've got no plan, have you? I said, right, so what I suggest you do, you got any boxes? Yeah, they're coming tomorrow, or they might not come till Sunday. And why the hell was she there then? Just to antagonise me. If she really was coming to start packing up, she would have waited until our boxes came. And so I said, right, when... Cheers. Yeah, boxes. Right, okay, so your boxes come on Saturday. So what I suggest you do, you come here on Sunday, 12 o'clock. I'll be here. Yes, I'll take time out of my private life with my family to help you, Husk, again. I said, right, suggest you come on 12 o'clock. I'll have about till 5. So between we've got 5 hours and we'll start packing up all of your personal belongings and have a think about what you're taking and what you're leaving in terms of furniture. And I reckon in that 5 hours, you know, we'll break the back of it, and then we'll still have a week to finish off, but I think we'll get most of it done in those 5 hours. She was, and like she's been comfortable, because now we're in practical mode, and our attitude changes. It's like she's got split personality, I think I might have said this, and now it's compliant, Husk. Before it was antagonistic, then argumentative, now it's compliant, Husk, and it just flips like a switch. So, I actually made her write all of this down. Treating her like a kid. So, that was it, and yes, I made it clear. I'll help you on Sunday. We'll still have another week. Nobody's coming to help. I'll do it all. Put the stuff in your car. Do as many trips as it takes. And that was the end of that. Next day, Sunday comes. She turns up. I'm going to try and keep this short because she's bored. But generally speaking, she's huffing and puffing. And then she's making old people's noises, like aches and pains. And then she starts to put out tears. It's like she's trying, as we're going around the house, she's trying all the tricks in the book to make us feel guilty. And then she tells us that her and the ATM aren't moving anymore. I said, so you're not getting a place together then? I said, so you're living with him then? Hi. And I said, so are you pleased about that? Seems to me that you've, through your own pride, put yourself in a position where you're only moving out because of your pride, and now you've had a fall. And I know what to say about pride. Always comes before a fall, Husk. Anyway, she's adamant. She's happy to live with him. Bollocks. And then she announced roadkill's coming to help collect some boxes. And what did I tell you? I said no family members are coming. This is a sensitive situation. I'm here to help you. No, nobody's coming up this driveway except a complete stranger in a delivery van, removal van. Why have you done it again, Husk? Why have you invited roadkill to come and help? Well, I thought you meant with the furniture. It had to be a stranger, and this is my personal belongings. I think, are you mental? How could you think that rule applied only to bulky furniture and not to personal belongings? It's just completely retarded. This is what you're dealing with. So I said, no, she's not coming here. I'm putting all your boxes into your car. You're going to drive them to the ATM's house. And if roadkill wants to be at the other side to help you with those boxes out of the car, so be it. Nobody's coming up this driveway. So anyway, I'm saying this is sensitive. Don't want other family members prying into our business. She doesn't get any of it because she doesn't have any empathy. She can't understand anything that requires a certain amount of empathy to be able to understand it. So, and then I said, of course it's sensitive. Why do you think the beacon isn't here? And she just looks with a blank look on her face. She probably doesn't want to say the truth. The truth to her is whatever. Who knows what goes on the side of her head? But anyway, why do you think the beacon's not here, Husk? I said because it's sensitive. She doesn't necessarily want to be involved in this ritual because it's not enjoyable, is it? And she said, oh, that's what she said. Why do you think she doesn't want to be here? And then I said that and she went, well, maybe she should put her pride to one side. Aye, that's what she said. Wow. So that's what she thinks of the beacon. She thinks she's like her, where she puts her pride before everything else. And it's not like that. I said it's not pride, Husk. It's not pride. It's her feelings. But obviously she doesn't have any real feelings, so how's she meant to empathise with that? Anyway, I said it's her feelings. You know what she said? She said, well, could she not put her feelings to one side like she normally does? Wow. This is all starting to come together now. So she thinks she should put her feelings second to what? To what? Having to face the Husk. And this is how she thinks. But notice how she said, like she usually does. And this is something that the beacon said to the Husk when she had the conversation. She said, I'm not putting myself second anymore. You know, not when it comes to our feelings and stuff like that. So I reminded the Husk, no, she's not putting her feelings to one side, because, like she said to you just the other week, Husk, she's putting herself first now, from now on. That's it. And she doesn't know what to say. She doesn't know what to say. She doesn't understand any of this, because there's an element of it is, you know, it's, I wouldn't say it's psychological, it's philosophical, but it's, you know, it takes a certain amount of emotional intelligence to actually tune into these conversations, and she hasn't got any of that. So, but yeah, now we know what's going on. She says horrible things. If she doesn't have the opportunity to lie and manipulate, she doesn't like it when the consequences come back, and she thinks everybody is like her, full of pride, and she thinks that her own daughter should put her feelings second just to her wanton needs. Anyway, in it only took 4 hours and pretty much did. Emptied all of her personal belongings into boxes, got rid of them, and then the following, and I said, "What? Right, we're nearly done. It's only going to be another 45 minutes, so why don't you just come back next Sunday?" That's the 26th when you're due to hand the keys in. Come back next Sunday, pick up the last couple of boxes, and have a final check around the place, and it'll only take 45 minutes, an hour, and then you can hand the keys in. It's done. Just come back next Sunday. And that's where that ended.